What is up, guys? Welcome to Off the Cuff with me, Matt. I'm so excited to start doing this. It has been a plan to do something like this for a very long time, so I'm excited to finally get started. This is going to be something that tackles the question of, oh my God, what am I doing? A lot of musicians, people in the arts, are in this position of, you have your art, you have your track, you have your album, you have the screenplay you wrote, you have all of these things, and now what? I feel like a lot of artists, especially independent artists, there are amazing outlets, and we're in 2020, and there's so many ways to put your art out there, but how do you actually get it heard by the right people? Not everyone doesn't have Warner Brothers knocking on their doorstep saying, hey, we want to give you a deal. And you don't even need one these days, but how do you go from, recording in your basement and your tracks and self-producing and making it happen to get it seen by the right people and taking that step in your career? Oh my God, there's just so much. And even what I'm mostly concerned about is, being authentic to yourself and writing and not catering to just what people want and just playing what you want, which I think is the most important thing, in expressing yourself and how you want to express yourself and what you want to talk about. So it's going to be a lot. A little bit about me. So my name's Matt. I grew up in Staten Island. I started playing the violin at a really young age. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't remember when, maybe like 7 or 6 years old. I changed over and started playing the saxophone probably around 7, 8, and started going to LaGuardia High School, not at 7. Went to LaGuardia High School, commuted from Staten Island every day. I think I took the 6:40 ferry every day. The 6:40 freaking ferry every single day. Because I wanted to pursue music. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I'm still doing. And I loved it. And I wanted to play music for the rest of my life, and I still do. Went to LaGuardia, played saxophone. That's kind of also when I started singing, or attempting to sing, if you ask my parents. Me singing Michael Bublé in the back of the car very badly. I finished at LaGuardia, and I went on to go to the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music, playing saxophone and trying to sing, and started getting better, started taking singing lessons, played the saxophone for hours on end. Had no friends because I literally sat in a practice room for hours a day trying to be the best saxophone player that ever lived. I got some really amazing opportunities going to the New School, and really just honed the craft and played jazz. I played in the R&B ensemble with amazing professors, Michael Wolf, Bernard Purdy. I learned from Ben Wendell, the amazing saxophone player, Dave Glasser, all these amazing saxophone players, and kind of figured out at that point that I didn't want to be a sideman. I didn't want to just play like a jazz combo. I played in a lot of jazz bands, an Afro-Cuban jazz orchestra with Bobby Sanabria, which was insane, and I learned so much. But coming out of it, I'm realizing I don't want to just play in an ensemble setting. I want to do my own thing. I want to stand out. And a lot of my colleagues wanted to do the jazz thing. They wanted to play, they wanted to play in the jazz clubs every night, and that's awesome. And if that makes you happy, go for it. For me, that wasn't the path that I wanted to follow. So I started my own band. At the time, it was called Matt and the City Limits, and I was trying to be I don't know, man. I don't know what I was trying to be. I was just didn't know what I was singing about. I was singing about girls half the time because didn't know what the heck I was doing. I moved forward from that project and started Monroe, which is my current project, and still figuring it all out. Recently going in a new direction with all the music, but we'll get to that later. after graduating the new school, I started doing all of the New York City circuits, the Bitter End, Rockwood Music Hall, all that good stuff, which is awesome. It was such a good learning experience and getting myself out there and like learning what it is to actually conduct a band and be a frontman, because they don't teach you that necessarily in school. And that real life experience is pretty invaluable, I think. And then running into this whole thing of like, I played saxophone my whole life and I'm really comfortable doing that, but I think people want to hear me sing, and then people want to hear words. I don't think they want to hear just instrumental music. And then what do I do? How do I incorporate both? And it's a lot. So obviously this is very dense, and will be a lot of episodes and things to expand on. But after school, I got some awesome opportunities. I recorded my first album. I got some opportunities from a record label. I got a call to go on tour with Brandon Flowers, and I played saxophone for Brandon Flowers on his Desired Effect World Tour. And if you don't know who that is, look him up. He's awesome. He's the lead singer for The Killers. Total badass dude. Awesome music. After doing the world tour with him, I got the opportunities to do my own thing. I opened for Justin Timberlake. I opened for Ingrid Michaelson. I opened for, most recently, Aaron Carter, which is random, but pretty cool. And now what? You know, we're still here. We're still in the same position. It's an awesome resume builder, but what about the next gig? Is always the next gig, and always building. And how are you going to get better? How are you going to get those connections? What do you do as an independent artist, as so many of us are? You know, what do? You got to keep a roof over your head, right? Unless you're going to move in with your family, which a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. It doesn't have to be music. It could be, you're an actor, you're an actress, you want to write that screenplay. You know, how do you grind it out? How do you hustle? How do you not burn out? How do you work 18 hours a day and work smart and get those connections? Because in this world that we're in now, you don't need a record label necessarily. You don't need that for the connections. You just need the right person to hear it, right? And we have all these new outlets. We've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got TikTok. That's insane. TikTok videos are going nuts. It's like the 2011 Instagram is TikTok today. It's nuts. You can produce your own record. You can put it out. There's so many things that we're going to talk about. So really excited. We're going to have some awesome guests on the show as well to talk about their success and what they've done, and we'll talk about my experiences. And I want it to be a conversation. I want to hear about your experiences and what has worked for you and what advice you would give to the people that are listening to this podcast too. We'll be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. If you want to chat with me, hit me up on Instagram. That's what I check too many times a day. It's at Matt Berman Music, MattBerman Music. And let's make it a conversation. Let's talk about what works. We're all grinding this out together. We're doing this together. We're all trying to figure it out. So thank you for listening to this intro. I am stoked to start this series, and I'll talk to y'all soon.